Did you know that the way most older adults drink water may be quietly harming their health? It might sound surprising. After all, how complicated can drinking water really be? But as we get older, our bodies manage hydration differently in ways that aren't always obvious. What worked just fine in your 40s or 50s may now be placing extra strain on your heart, kidneys, or digestive system. And the catch? You might not feel it until the damage has begun. That's what makes it so unexpected. In this video, we're going to explore 6 water drinking habits that many older adults fall into. Habits that seem harmless, but can actually work against your health. Once you understand the science behind them, you may never look at a glass of water the same way again. Stick with us until the end. Not only will you learn what to avoid, but you'll also understand why staying properly hydrated matters now more than ever. If you're between 60 and 80 and want to remain sharp, steady, and strong, these hydration tips are something you simply can't afford to ignore. Now, let's dive in. Habit number 1. Only drinking when you feel thirsty. One of the most common and misleading habits among older adults is waiting until thirst kicks in to drink water. On the surface, it sounds logical. Your body gets thirsty, so you drink. Simple, right? But once you're over 60, your body's ability to detect thirst starts to weaken. That "I'm thirsty" signal might arrive too late, or sometimes not at all. The result? Chronic dehydration without even realizing it. You may assume you're getting enough fluids because you don't feel thirsty, but your body could already be running low. In older adults, dehydration doesn't always show up as dry mouth or obvious thirst. Instead, it often manifests as fatigue, dizziness, constipation, or brain fog. Symptoms that are rarely traced back to hydration. I once knew a man named Walter, 74, who said, "I don't feel thirsty much, so I guess I don't need to drink as much anymore." But he was always tired, and his blood pressure kept fluctuating. Once he began drinking water steadily throughout the day, without waiting for thirst, his energy improved significantly. Hydration in older age is about rhythm, not reaction. A cup in the morning, another mid-morning, then a few more in the afternoon and evening. This simple, steady pattern helps keep your body balanced before issues arise. Think of water as medicine for your organs. Your brain, joints, kidneys, and digestive system all depend on it. Don't wait until you're parched or dizzy, because by then, especially if you're 60 or older, you're already behind. Drink on a schedule, not just when you get a signal. Habit number 2, drinking too much water. All at once. Another mistake many older adults make is trying to catch up on water all at once. Maybe you realize late in the day that you haven't had enough, so you chug a couple of glasses before dinner, or worse, right before bed. But here's the problem. As you age, your body can't handle large volumes of water as efficiently. Drinking too much in one go forces your kidneys to work overtime. This can flush out important electrolytes, strain your heart, and lead to issues like bloating, nausea, or frequent urination. That sudden need to pee can interrupt your sleep, or even increase the risk of falls if you're rushing to the bathroom at night. And while rare, water intoxication is a real concern, especially for those taking medications that affect sodium levels. Drinking too much water quickly can upset the delicate balance inside your cells, sometimes dangerously. I remember a woman named Ruth, 78, who proudly drank 6 glasses of water a day, but all in the afternoon. She often felt bloated, tired, and uncomfortable. Once she switched to drinking smaller amounts throughout the day, everything improved: her digestion, her sleep, and her energy levels. Think of hydration like breathing. It should be steady and consistent, not rushed or extreme. A few sips every hour or two do far more good than trying to make up for it all at once. Your organs thrive on calm, not chaos. If you're still watching and finding these tips helpful, comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. Your support makes it possible for us to keep bringing you helpful, health-focused content. Now, let's move on to the next important habit. Number 3, avoiding water before bed or during the night. Many older adults make the deliberate choice to stop drinking water in the evening, often for a very understandable reason. They want to avoid waking up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. No one wants broken sleep. No one wants to risk a fall in the dark. So the habit becomes no water after dinner, no water before bed, no water until morning. But here's what most people don't realize. This habit, over time, can quietly increase your risk for much more serious issues, especially heart strain and early morning dehydration, which is a well-known trigger for strokes and cardiac events in older adults. The body loses water overnight through breathing, through sweat, and through natural metabolic function, and if you go to bed underhydrated, you'll wake up even more depleted. I once spoke with a man named Sam, 82, who was told by a friend, "Stop drinking water at 7 or you'll be up all night." So he did. But after a while, he started waking up dizzy, with dry mouth and a pounding heart. His doctor eventually traced it to mild but steady overnight dehydration and recommended a small glass of water before sleep. The difference was immediate. Now, to be clear, you don't need to drink a full glass before bed. And yes, limiting liquids close to bedtime can help reduce bathroom trips. But cutting off water completely in the early evening does more harm than good. Instead, aim for balance. Sip during the evening. Keep a small cup by your bedside if you wake up dry. Train your bladder gradually, not by depriving your body of what it needs. Your organs don't stop working at night. Your brain still uses water. Your heart still pumps. Your kidneys still filter. So give them what they need to do their job safely, even if it's just a few sips after brushing your teeth. Avoiding nighttime water might protect your sleep, but it could be quietly stealing from your health. The key is not to eliminate. It's to moderate and time it wisely. Number 4, replacing water with tea, coffee, or juice. One habit that sneaks into many seniors' routines is substituting plain water with hydrating alternatives like tea, coffee, or fruit juice. These drinks feel like they're doing the job. They're liquids, after all. They go down smooth. They offer flavor. And in many cases, they've been part of your routine for decades. But while they might satisfy thirst in the moment, they don't give your body what it actually needs. Let's start with tea and coffee. Both contain caffeine, a natural diuretic. That means they actually cause your body to lose water faster. So while that warm cup may feel comforting, especially in the morning, it can quietly pull more hydration from your system than it adds back in. And over time, that can leave you running on empty, even if you're drinking plenty. Then there's juice. It seems healthier, and in small amounts it can be. But most juices, especially store-bought ones, are packed with sugar. And sugar, when it enters your bloodstream in large amounts, actually pulls water out of your cells. That's why many people feel bloated or even thirstier after a glass of juice than before. I once met a couple, George and Evelyn, both in their 70s, who drank orange juice with every meal. "We thought we were being healthy," George said. But both were dealing with fluctuating blood sugar, dry skin, and nagging headaches. Once they replaced 2 of their daily juice servings with water, they were stunned by how much better they felt. Clearer heads, fewer cravings, and more energy. Water works differently. It doesn't compete with your organs. It doesn't ask for processing. It simply supports. It helps carry nutrients, remove waste, regulate temperature, and cushion your joints. Nothing else does that as effectively, not even herbal teas. You can still enjoy your morning coffee. You can still sip on tea or the occasional juice. But don't count them as your hydration. Count them as treats, and make sure your body is still getting what it actually needs. Clean, unflavored, steady water, day in and day out. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, Now, let's move forward. Number 5, not drinking water during meals. Somewhere along the line, a popular myth took hold that drinking water with meals is bad for digestion. Maybe you've heard it too. It dilutes your stomach acid, or it makes digestion weaker. Because of this belief, many older adults have trained themselves to avoid water while eating entirely, pushing their glass aside even when they feel the need for a sip. But here's what actually happens. Drinking small amounts of water with meals helps break down food, softens the texture for easier swallowing, and assists the stomach in processing nutrients. The body is smart. It adjusts the acidity of your digestive juices based on what you eat and drink. A few sips of water will not undo that. It will help your system handle the food more smoothly. In fact, research shows that mild hydration during meals can aid in nutrient absorption. It also helps prevent overeating by creating a gentle sense of fullness, which can support healthy weight management, especially important in later years when metabolism slows. I knew a man named Larry, 75, who always ate his lunch completely dry. "I don't want to weaken my stomach acid," he told me. But he often had trouble swallowing, dealt with recurring heartburn, and felt sluggish after eating. Once he started drinking just half a glass of room temperature water with meals, his digestion noticeably improved. "I feel lighter now," he said, "and I'm not choking on dry food anymore." That's the key. Balance. You don't need to down a full glass while eating, but having water on hand, taking small sips, and staying gently hydrated during your meal can actually support digestion, not harm it. Skipping water during meals might feel like a wise choice, especially if it's something you've heard for years. But in most cases, it's a habit that silently works against your body's natural rhythm. Don't be afraid to hydrate while you nourish. It's one of the simplest ways to help your body do what it already knows how to do. Number 6, drinking cold water instead of room temperature. One subtle but impactful habit many seniors hold on to is drinking ice-cold water, especially during warm days or after a walk. It feels refreshing, no doubt, but for older adults, regularly choosing cold water over room temperature might be quietly interfering with digestion, circulation, and even your body's ability to regulate itself efficiently. Here's why. As we age, our digestion naturally slows. Our blood vessels become more sensitive. Our internal thermostat isn't quite as sharp as it used to be. When you introduce very cold water into this more delicate system, your body needs to redirect energy to warm it up. That can delay digestion, constrict blood vessels, and even make you feel sluggish or chilled, not just in your mouth, but throughout your chest and stomach. I once met a woman named Doris, 81, who kept a pitcher of ice water by her recliner every day. She drank it with every meal. But she was often bloated and sometimes even had chills during summer. Her doctor suggested switching to room temperature water for a week. The result? Less bloating, more comfort after meals, and a body that didn't feel like it was always fighting the cold. Room temperature water supports your body's natural functions without causing a shock to your system. It moves gently through your organs, aids digestion, and promotes steady blood circulation, especially important for those managing arthritis, diabetes, or heart conditions. This doesn't mean you can never enjoy cold water again. An occasional chilled drink after gardening or a walk is perfectly fine. However, for your daily hydration, especially during meals or on an empty stomach, room temperature water is the gentler, smarter choice. It's a small change, often overlooked, but for older adults, it can lead to noticeable improvements, fewer digestive issues, more stable energy levels, and less strain on systems that already work harder with age. If you're still watching and finding this information helpful, comment number 6 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so and turn on the notification bell. You won't want to miss upcoming videos. Your support helps us keep creating content that informs and inspires. Final thoughts. By the time we reach our 60s, 70s, or 80s, the way our bodies manage hydration changes significantly. Yet, many people never adjust their water habits. They continue doing what worked decades ago, not realizing that these small, everyday choices might be quietly undermining their health and energy. Today, we explored 6 common hydration habits that older adults often fall into. Waiting until you're thirsty, drinking too much water at once, avoiding water in the evening, replacing water with flavored drinks, skipping water during meals, always opting for cold water over room temperature. Each of these may seem harmless on its own, but together, they gradually reduce your body's access to the steady, supportive hydration it needs. The good news? Every one of these habits is simple to shift. You don't need fancy gadgets, complicated routines, or strict tracking. Just a little awareness, a few timely adjustments, and a daily commitment to make water a priority, not an afterthought. So now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these habits surprised you the most? Which one have you been doing without even realizing? And what small change will you try this week to boost your energy, improve digestion, or support your overall well-being? Thank you so much for joining us today. Please share your thoughts in the comments. Let us know what you learned and how you plan to apply it. Your insights mean a lot to us, and your feedback is a powerful source of motivation. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Your support allows us to keep bringing you valuable content to help you live healthier and feel better every day. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.